It was interesting. So now, Barry, I want you to go. I've told this story. Yeah. This is my story. He almost tells it better than me.
I've heard it so many times I could tell it by heart. Y'all seen this video? Yes, this is Gettysburg, Pennsylvania here. This is the what's called Pickett's Charge. It's the day three of the battle. This is the last-ditch effort of the Confederates to try to win the battle, and this is what's called Pickett's Charge. Back in 1990, my brother, summer before his senior year in high school, I was in the Navy. I was down stationed in Miami, Florida. Him, my mom, and dad were going on this. It's always when I left the house, they went on these huge vacations. I never got to go on these vacations.
Being the youngest pays off, doesn't it?
They drove up like Philadelphia, Williamsburg, up in that area, and then on the way out, they're going to come through Gettysburg. And so they're driving out of town. The Gettysburg trip's over. They're heading out of town, going towards Philadelphia, I believe. Yep. On the right side of the vehicle is this Pickett's Charge. Brad looks over, and he's like, oh, there's a group of soldiers walking through this field with drummer boys and their guns, and the flags are waving in the wind. It's a bright, like you say, bright sunny day in July. This is also in July, almost around the same time as the battle anniversary. He's heading out of town. He told my mom and dad to pull over. I want to film this thing. I want to say, this is a reenactment going on. This is a chance of a lifetime. So he jumps out of the truck. He's got the big VHS camera. Kind of you have to carry on your shoulder, and you pop the tape in and out. He puts it on his shoulder. He films, and he's talking a little bit. He's filming. He's commenting, here I am, Brad, in this field. I'm filming this and whatever. And you'll see what he catches here on his film.
Now, a lot of you are going to say, well, that's just a bunch of guys walking down the field. This is my personal proof that the paranormal is real, that ghosts are real. Why? Because I was 17 years old, had a VHS camera. I wasn't a ghost hunter. There's no such thing as ghost hunters back then. And it was the middle of the day. I wasn't expecting anything. But as soon as I shot that and I looked back up to go run after them, they were gone. Nowhere, just not out of sight, they were gone. There was no way they could have got out of my sight. You see the field. In the amount of time it took for me to pan through them, stop the camera, and start the run towards them, they were not there. And I stopped the frame on them, and there's a few things we would like to talk about. First of all, you can even get on a computer and get this close. They're shadowy. Why are they shadowy when the flags are full color? You can tell that's an American flag. You can tell that's a regimental flag. But you can see the drums of the drummer boys. You can see the flags, but you can only see shadows of them. If this was true color, like you see the American flag, they would also have color. They don't. That's one weird thing. The other weird thing is what we found out 20 years later.
So season 2 of Ghost Lab, we went back and we filmed our Gettysburg episode. And so Brad and I, like I said, we'd never really been back to this field and try to find out where the video's taken. So we said, let's take a drive. It was just me and Brad, and we found out it was Pickett's Charge. And we found out exactly where this video was shot. And so we found out from the park rangers that if you've ever been to a reenactment before in the States, there's thousands of people. Like it looks like it's like a football game. There's people watching this reenactment going on. There's not a soul around. There's not a car. There's not a person, nowhere. The other thing we found out is that you're not allowed to have reenactments on the main battlefield, on the actual park. It's illegal. So they have these reenactments outside of town at other barns and other farms and things like that to make it look like Gettysburg. So we found out those things. So all these bits and pieces were fitting together that this is a legit video of ghosts. Now, he never showed anybody except me and his friend Steve Harris, who was on a show with us. I was in Miami. He shows up in Miami. He's like, hey, check this out. And I'm like, man, you're full of shit. I mean, that's just the way I was back then. I was like, nah, that's just a bunch of people. Talk about the story, what's going on. And it's like, wow, that's probably some of the best. If that truly is a ghost, that's the best ghost footage I've ever seen in my life.
And like I said, I didn't care if people didn't believe me. That's why I didn't really show anyone, because it's too believable. It's too real to be believed. But it was all about me. And then when I showed Discovery Channel, when they had to ask, what got you into us, we told them this whole story. I never once, even to this day, got any flack about this video, which, I don't care if I did. I don't care what people think. But it is, if you want to see a ghost, this is it. Let me add one more story to that. So we also find out, we talked to some people who actually, there was a movie called Gettysburg that had Martin Sheen in it back in like 1993. And during the battle of, filming of the Battle of Pickett's Charge, they were allowed to film on this field. And it was a bright, hot day, July 3rd, 1863, when it took place. So it was very accurate they were out there, but a thunderstorm came up. So they had to stop filming for safety and historical accuracy purposes, right? Well, actors all over the field, a huge, hundreds and hundreds of acres field, were reporting to different producers and people at the same time, and other people didn't realize it until they all got together, that every time the lightning flashed, people would see the real battle going on around them. Dozens of people said this, and they were all on different parts of the field. They corroborated their stories later, but if you've never been to Gettysburg, I highly recommend, if you get over to the States, go there. It's unbelievable.
And this video actually, by luck, by true luck, that you even be able to see this picture, because remember I said it was on a VHS tape? Well, when Discovery was talking to us, they wanted to see the tape. Well, Brad played it on his TV, on the VHS recorder, and he filmed it with a digital recorder. Well, about halfway through, it started making a funny noise, and the tape got ate up, like gone. If he wasn't filming that with his digital recorder, we would not have proof of this video. So, by the grace of God, we actually got the video, and we can show y'all.
Now, you're probably wondering, because now we're going a little bit further. This is